Hey guys and gals, I got another one for you today. Today is part 2 of the 3 marking of the mutant, and I tried to record this last night after me, Oops, Drewski, and Thederian went 17 games in a row. So look for that. It's going to be a really long video. I'll prepare you for it. Maybe I crunch it up into pieces, but yeah, this is fun. I'll talk about more when that video comes. Today we're going to focus on the mutant, 3 marking it, and you see our bog horror killed our hammer, and from what I remember in this game, he was like pushing me across the lake in the south, and the tiger or the hammer just couldn't get out of the water in time, so ended up drowning. And then our T28 proto goes on to kill our bog horror. I don't know if that's happened yet. You can see our bog horror just is yapping this whole time, saying it wasn't his fault. He was just trying to push the hammer faster through the water, and ended up he drowned, but since he bumped into him, he got to turn blue. There, the proto killed our bog horror. So we're 2 tanks down. That's how we're going to start. We're on Swamp. Swamp is one of my favorite maps. I'd prefer to be in a long-range tank destroyer, scout, medium, anything with vision and camo, because that's kind of what plays well on this map. But I like heavy tanks too. I just like Swamp more than most people, I think. I know a lot of people don't like Swamp. I don't know if it's because they think it's campy, which it sort of is. However, there's generally some nice choke fights up in the northeast corner or the southwest corner. In this game, that's not what happened, but if you want a camp fest, you need to go to South Coast or was it Ardennes? I think it's Ardennes. And those have potential for good fights as well, but to me, 70% of the time, it's just a wretched sniper fest on one side, so then the other side doesn't want to push because they're afraid. Alright, we got to the back of a 53 TP. We hit his gas tank with the first shot on this T23 E3. And I'm not sure if he's still there or not. We're going to send a bullet over there. I think that shell went too low. Alright, now I push up. Now, generally, this isn't the position that I want to be in. I'd rather push up the 1 line if I'm going to go this side, but I didn't do that for 2 reasons. A, we have a ton of tanks in the castle, so I have to keep this hill lit, otherwise they could just potentially be shot by ghost tanks. And like newer players, even me when I started, I had no idea why the bushes across the map were shooting at me or how they could see me and I couldn't see them. So I feel like if you know how that vision camo works, then you need to make sure that you're filling the gap for your teammates, because not everybody knows how to do that. And if you want to live, you need even your rookiest of teammates to be able to help out, right? So what I mean by that is, even though I didn't know why the bushes were shooting at me when I first started, I feel like I was still decent enough player to find weak points, shoot at them, and as long as I could see the tank, I would put some shells out. So that gives you a couple advantages. A, you can get spotting damage. B, you can help out, I guess, your less experienced players. I mean, I'm not saying that all these guys in the southwest corner are inexperienced players, but they're just sitting up there sniping, so I'm going to throw vision out for them. Alright. The other part was, if I go up the 1 line, we were weak on the 890, so if I push the 1 line and my team doesn't go back to defend the base, then we're going to get capped. Plus, I don't care if we lose, I'm just going for damage here, and I don't have enough of it. I've blocked 5,000, that has nothing to do with your mark of excellence. Got a nice fire there. Now we're getting some spotting damage from the hill, or from the castle, just from the other way. So I can provide vision for the castle on both sides, whether it's up this side or up the other side. We fight those tanks off on the 890 push. Right as I turn around, got a Jig Tig right here. Get his lower plate, he misses. I'd love to track him here if he turns. Doesn't look like he's going to turn, so we're going to get a shot into his lower plate again. And he gets shut down by our Scorpion G. Now they have a heavy tank coming over the middle. Chances are he's just bait, so he's baiting our team to come over and shoot him. That way the guys behind him on the D line will be able to provide support. So I want to get back into this position and try to light them up so they don't kill my teammates again. We'll see if that can work. I know there's an AMX M445 there. Yig Tiger or Jig Tig already came off that hill, but I think there's still something else up there. And now this guy is an absolute disaster of a move. Dreadnought, you cannot drive through the middle of the swamp unless you have good vision, good camo. You're just not able to move through the swamp. He can't spot anything. He's going to get wrecked. And there he's one shot now. I think he's tracked, or he's just going to try to blind fire a bush before he dies. And he's dead. So the M445 takes him out. The T23E3 takes out our Scorpion G on the other side. So it's just me and a medium versus 5. Now there's a heavy tank spotted over there, and I take one in the butt on my retreat. Now this guy is leaving this side, and I think that's the wrong thing to do. We definitely don't want to drive out into the open. We'd rather fight it in a corridor where there already probably can't help, right? Alright, so his T23E3 is full health, and I get one shot into him, then he decides to run into me, which he's going to give me some cover from the 53 TP, and he's not going to be able to pen me. So had he driven to my side, I'd probably get wrecked, but he decides to ram me. He probably thinks the game's over, so bless his heart. I tried to go to with face hog on the 53 TP, but I think I just missed. So then I decided, well, I have to try to outrun his gun and hope that this Trinity comes back for me, and he does. Alright, so there's pretty much a full health King Tiger. That is a scary tank to fight in this, just because it's got good penetration. And I'd like the Trinity to come with me and get away from the King Tiger. Let's go find the other two. We know where that guy is. He's not coming. Doesn't look like they're flanking. So I'm just going to turn around to try to help him with the Tiger 2. Or King Tiger. We're up to 3,000 damage, 1,100 assisted. It's definitely going to help the mark. So I'd like to take the win down too, but to me, we just can't sit here forever. Now, he shoots at the Trinity, which I think buys me time to cross this, but I don't realize, like, I underestimated how long of a distance that was. So unfortunately, I throw my tank, and now it's just going to be down to this Trinity, which or Beach Party, same thing. He needs to make it a distance game. Now, if he uses vision and makes distance on these tanks, he should be able to win this. I mean, it's not like an easy win, but he definitely should be able to outspot a King Tiger. So now he's leaving, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. I feel like we would have taken this down if we would have done that. So he takes a shot in the butt too. King Tiger's just got good gun handling, good penetration, just overall good stats. Alright, so it looks like he could head north, and he kind of made it look like he was heading north. So now he's going to double back, and this should be able to help him out, since the Reds might not be able, or might not be ready for him. And there's Artie. So now he's spotted. Now the Reds know where he's at. And there's the AMX. AMX is on a sliver. See if we can put this guy down. Alright, he put that guy down. Now it's just Artie and the King Tiger. The King Tiger is behind him. So the King Tiger must have went up north through the swamp to try to cut him off. And unfortunately, this guy should have just ran away from the King Tiger, like I said, make distance. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to do that, so he's going to get taken down. What could we have done better? Well, I shouldn't have thrown my tank away, but I also think alternatively, we could have went to this position together, and then kind of sort it out to find out where the AMX was, and then go from there. But it is what it is. We're going for marks, we're not going for wins, which is a strange thing for me to say. And we're up to 94.7, so we're right there. We're on the cusp. Take top dog, Beach Party takes third, Object 416 must have been fighting the right flank, or maybe, I don't know where he was, but he had a decent game too. Alright, well, we got a little bit of time. Let's talk more about the Mutant. The Mutant has a big silver boost. I think it's got the biggest silver boost in the game, like 57% or something like that. Might be more than that. Maybe I should get my stats online if I'm going to talk about this stuff. But I know it's the highest silver earning premium tank. But it is tricky. It's not like get in this thing and dominate, even though it's a preferential matchmaking tank. The sides and rear of this thing are paper thin. So if you overcommit, you are going to get wrecked. What I like to compare it to is the AMX M454, the Tier 10 French heavy tank. So if you have that, it plays a lot like that. Your frontal armor is somewhat reliable when you're wiggling, has weak points that can be taken advantage of, and if somebody gets to your side, you are going to be in a lot of trouble. So that's kind of how I explain the Mutant. It's got the T29 gun, which is adequate. I really enjoy the gun on this thing. The reload seems a little slow, and the gun handling isn't like phenomenal, but generally I'm fighting corners, close range, so I don't have to worry too much about it. OHOs are a big bane to this thing. OHOs at derp, just because it's hard to pen an OHO even with APCR rounds in this. Unless, of course, you get to their side. But like frontally, front on battle, they don't have to really aim at the weak points. They can just blast 300 health off each HE shell. And then you have to aim your gun and hopefully pen with an APCR round. Isn't the end of the world, but it just feels like they can take your health a lot faster. I'm trying to think if there's other tanks. Yeah, I think that's like the one Tier 8 heavy tank that I really like worry about. Every Tier 9 you have to respect in this thing, just because you're weak. You have weak points frontally, so it's not like you can just drive right at someone. If they know how to pen you in your weak points, you're going to get wrecked. But now we're on Erlenberg, and I'm going to head up to 890. And as long as I stay alive here, I should be able to rack up the damage. And that's what we're trying to do with 3 marks. It's not really focusing on win, it's focusing on that damage. So there's T29 sitting over there. Get a shot into him. I was hoping to get drive wheel, that way we'd get up the track assist right off the bat, but we're unfortunately unable to do that. Then our shell goes a little low, hits the track with a wizard, and unable to take his track off. There's a IKD right there. We're able to get a shot into him. And I like to work this ridgeline behind that house because it makes it a hard shot for artillery. You definitely can be hit by our arty there, but it is difficult. The problem with this hill is when tanks are up in A0. So if you're artillery, please focus those tanks when they're spotted. There's nothing more annoying than a patient player in A0 that only pops up after you shoot to try to shoot at you. And he doesn't even care if he pens you. He just wants to be a nuisance up in that little hole. Alright, so they have a lot of tanks in the castle, so I feel like since this heavy's going, I'm going to go with them. We're going to go together. We're going to make this push. Alright, so I looked it up. 67% bonus silver earnable on the mutant. That is huge. 67%. Yeah, so you can put all these consumables in that are really expensive, and you can still make money even in a loss. As you see in last game, I think I made like 50,000, 60,000, and I'm running premium consumables, so this thing can make a ton of money. Alright, so the wizard turns his tank towards me. I just try to give him a wiggle, that way if he's shooting at my top cap, it's kind of difficult for him. Or he's shooting at my cheeks. That's the problem. Your top cap and your cheeks are weak, but the gun mantlet is strong, and the front of the turret is pretty strong, so if you can get them to hit it incorrectly, you're going to bounce their shell, generally. Alright, so we're about to lose the castle, and they killed the wizard, so we're going to go back and defend the base, because that's how you win on Erlenberg. Win the choke, defend the base. Win the choke, defend the base. If you play without Sixth Sense, that's how you learn to be very successful at the game. Just because crossing fields with no Sixth Sense makes for a very difficult time. So I picked up that habit, mostly just because I couldn't cross fields, not knowing if I was spotted or not. Especially in a heavy tank, if you don't have Sixth Sense, you should not be crossing fields. Now, I didn't expect to hit that Jag Tiger, but I have a shot, so I might as well just shoot. I'll have time to reload. If I land that shot, that's just going to be extra damage. We're going to make our way all the way to the K line. We're not going to shortcut this, because if you get spotted, pretty much everything on the 3 line in that field can shoot at you. So be tragic to get caught out sideways in a mutant. You're the biggest tank in the game. I'm pretty sure this thing is taller than a Type 5 heavy. Could be wrong on that. Type 5 is still pretty gigantic, but I know it is taller than an E100 in the mouse for sure. Which is weird to think of a tier 8 heavy tank. So I actually recorded this whole video last night after we got done, and then I played it back and was listening to it, and I yawned like 8 times, and I just sounded like a zombie. I was ready to fall asleep, so I didn't think that would be quality content for you guys, especially in my second 3-mark tank, tier 8 and above. I have marked my SU-100. My first tank ever to 3-mark was my PZ-4H at tier 5. Those 2 tanks I love dearly. But now that I've completed all the tank lines until new ones come in, I'm pretty much going to work towards getting the tier 10 premium tanks. So just trying to earn a bunch of XP. And then while I do that, I might as well try to get some 3 marks on my tanks. And it's a mindset. It's definitely hard. I'd rather win games than get damage, just because I'm so competitive. Now, this is a interesting battle here. Me against the E75. He didn't even shoot at me. I missed the lower plate right away, and then already slammed him. And then I just gave him a wiggle. So I don't know if he didn't shoot because he couldn't find the weak point, or he just wasn't confident, but he just let me live. And shot into the side of the head of that dreadnought. I'm getting shot in the side of the head, so I gotta back up behind this ridge. These bushes are glorious if you're in a good vision to camo ratio tank. In a heavy tank, not so much, but it still is a good ridge line to work. You definitely have to be aware of Artie, and hopefully this E75 gives me some cover, but you can see that I'm taller than the E75. However, try to force Artie to shoot into or over top of the E75. Hopefully makes it a little bit more difficult. Alright, so we got a 705 there, but I am way too high. I'm going to get shot inside. Turn my turret just in time to block a shell, but then I have to take another one. Already slams me, and I'm just trying to find a shot in that 705 because I have his side, so I should be able to help my team out since they have to shoot at him frontally, and it's not easy to penetrate a 705 frontally. I let my team know that I'm falling back. The key here is, A, I can't outspot whatever is spotting me in the field, or maybe the 705A lit me, I'm not sure. But the thing is like, my team isn't helping me right now, they're focusing on the 705. So now that he's dead, now I'm going to go back over here. I know I have support, so I'm going to try to light him up here. The medium is evacuating the north when the tank destroyer went up there to help him. And this is where Sixth Sense would be pretty boss. I don't know if I'm spotted or not, but I don't have it, so I don't know if I'm spotted. I figured someone would try to shoot at me though, so I'm not detected. I give him my side, and now I'm targeted. We're going to try to loop back around. There we go. Now we got him spotted. He finally pushed up to get a little bit closer, and that's probably why he didn't want to shoot at me, because he didn't want to get spotted. And he decided, like, my butt was too juicy. He had to try to get a little bite of my butt. And he missed, so I was able to spot him as soon as he shot. And now there's just a little pea shooter out there somewhere. We're up to 2,000 damage, 1,000 assist. Should be enough for the 3 mark. I know there are websites that you can look up, see like what you need damage-wise, but I'm not 100% sure what they are. If you guys want to throw them in the description, just kind of help out. It's that IKV90 that I found right away. Able to shut him down. Now it's just Artie. Hopefully we can get a taste of Artie, add to our totals. And I'm feeling pretty good. I only needed 0.3. Needed a good game, and I feel like 3,000 combined is plenty in this tank. A lot of people don't play this tank very well, so I think my guess to 3 mark this thing would be around like 2,800 damage. If you were to average that over 30 games, you probably would get a 3 mark. Could be wrong. You know, there's probably some of you out there that know the website and have it all looked up and figured out and can stat check me on that. So we go victory jump into the water, wash the tank off. We gotta wash that barrel so we can get that 3rd star on there, and sure enough, we get the 3rd mark of excellence on our barrel. This thing needed it. I think I've played over 700 games. It's my highest played tier 8 premium tank, or highest played premium tank, and it just deserved those 3 stars. We got 2 stars on it for the longest time. Finally got the 3rd one on there, and it looks beautiful. Alright, well, I hope you guys had a great Friday, Saturday. Enjoy your Sunday if you're watching football or have fantasy football. Good luck. Hope you win. And I guess I'll leave it at that. I'll quit babbling. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I will catch you in the next video.